Scholastic Sports Showcase here on PCTN on a cold and blustery Saturday afternoon in downtown Wilkes-Barre. Pleased to present to you the renewal of football tradition between King's College and Wilkes University right here from Monarch Field. Now, we should tell you that if the afternoon sounds a little bit different here on PCTN, the wind is such a factor here this afternoon that if we were to establish for you any type of crowd sounds or crowd mics, about all you would hear would be so we'll explain that to you, and hopefully you will understand along with us. The wind absolutely earlier this morning playing some havoc with much of our equipment, but we are very thankful and pleased to be on the air and have this one just about set to get underway, as the captains are going to be meeting in the midfield area. And as we had mentioned to you, this is a renewal of a tradition.
The series lasted 7 seasons, Roger, from 1946 to 1952. The Colonels run the first 5 games between the two teams, while the Monarchs captured the final 2 games before the series was discontinued following the 52 contest. King subsequently dropped football in '63, but reinstated the sport 2 years ago as a JV program. This season, the Monarchs are 1-8 in their first varsity campaign in 30 years. The Colonels, on the other hand, are 9-0 and are the Middle Atlantic Conference champions. Today's Kings and Wilkes are located only 4 blocks from each other, and they renew the tradition on the football field, which promises to produce a great rivalry for years to come.
And we are very pleased to be a part of that. Very quickly, let's give you the lineups here for the Kings College Monarchs. Well, we'll get to that in just a moment. As you take a look at the sides here, both schools have brought with them a full complement of players. Let's tell you who's going to officiate this one here this afternoon. The officials are Dennis Krim, Tony Indorado, Bob Shuck, Don Kaler, Joe Jaquim, and Joe Nardini are the guys here this afternoon. And boy, I'll tell you what, you see that young lady's the wind just rustling through her hair, and it is indeed one of those afternoons when you want the football and have the wind at your back. It will make a reasonable difference to you here. It is extremely windy, and for some reason or another, the way the field is situated, this wind just blows right out of the south to the north, and it is going to be Wilkes University kicking off here. And you'll notice that the ball is going to be held, and the reason for that is quite obvious. It won't stay on the tee.
And they're not even
expect this one to go out of the end zone.
They're not even going to try to do it without having it held.
Joe O'Donnell is the man who will kick the ball away. O'Donnell out of Plymouth White Marsh High School. And this one is underway. Taken by Jim Ball, and Jim Ball out to the 27-yard line, where the Monarchs will have the football first and into a very stiff wind.
We look for Kings to keep the ball on the ground a lot. They use a wishbone offense, and we'll see if they're going to do any throwing at all. I would doubt it. They're going right into the wind, as you say, on the first play from scrimmage. Here we go, Roger.
Sean Richards, the quarterback. Yeah, this is Jim Ball as he comes to the near side and met right at the line of scrimmage, and we're going to say no gain. Make it a second down. Actually, a loss on the play of about a half a yard. We'll set the defense and offense for you in just a moment. Out of the wishbone. Little misdirection play, and that is Brian Litz, but Litz fooled no one as the play was read very well by the Wilkes University defense. On the left side here, Larry Trachis, Jason Feast, Mike McCree, all playing that one very well.
Mike Modlick came up real quick, shut down the opening, and the reverse did not fool him at all. He moved into the backfield and made the play.
The give will go to John Myers, and Myers is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. And that will bring up a 4th down. And Neil Bennett, it's going to be very tricky punting into this wind.
Absolutely. There's no way at all that ball is going to be able to get much distance if he goes high. He's almost going to have to try to just punt a line drive over the line of scrimmage and hope for a good bounce.
Jim Ball does the kicking. A flag is thrown. Bad snap. Ball is going to have to run for it. And Ball gets back to about the 27-yard line, well short. That's the original line of scrimmage. And the tackle on the play was made by Buck Wilk.
Flag looks as if it's going against the Wilkes Colonels, so we have a break here for the Monarchs. It's going to be offside against the defensive line of Wilkes. Won't change the punting situation much, but it will at least give them a chance to get it off again. Penalty will be 5 yards. Wilkes looks very intense on defense. The defensive line in the secondary not giving Kings an inch on that series as they lost yardage. The only pickup they have here is on the penalty. And again, Ball is back this time on his 14-yard line to let her roll.
Jim Ball is a sophomore out of Lynn, Massachusetts. Awaits the snap. He gets a good snap this time. Gets it away. You'll see the wind hold it up. And it's going to be down at the Wilkes 47. And that is where the Colonels will begin as they get the ball for the first time.
Good action on that punt for Ball. He got the ball out of his own territory down to the 47 for the Colonels. And now their fine quarterback is running with the ball in the wind. And we're talking, of course, about Boo Perry from Canton, Pennsylvania, sophomore.
Perry gives it to Jason Smith. Jason Smith is a kid that you will want to keep an eye on throughout the course of this afternoon's contest. Jason Smith out of Pine Grove, Pennsylvania, has some very impressive statistics. He needs 7 yards to reach the 1,000-yard mark and got close to it there. And a first down as Jason Smith goes over the 1,000-yard mark very early on in the game. That's a monkey, I guess, you get off your back in a hurry, as he is to the 41 of the Monarchs. That's a good look at Jason Smith. Senior, 5'11", 184 pounds. Played his high school football for the Cardinals at Pine Grove. And this one is incomplete. And we're going to stand corrected on that. The information that we were given here, I thought, indicated 993 yards, unless that was perhaps last year. He is the single-season rushing leader and is now over 900 for the season.
That's for this year, that's for sure, Roger. And there we saw Perry air it out to Ryan Alston down deep in the right corner, but let him a little bit too much.
And he was, he was 112 yards shy of 1,000 yards. I'll look at my notes correctly this time. And Smith to the 36, and it looks to me as though he's going for those 112 here today, Neil.
Looks like they're going to give him the mail most of the time to carry the way it's starting out. Perry also is very close to becoming the Wilkes all-time leader in pass yardage. He needs 285 yards, I believe, today to tie. We'll see if they throw that much here in the ball game.
Boo Perry out of Canton. Little toss, this one to Ryan Alston, and Ryan Alston, very close to the first down. Are they going to give him the first down?
They gave him the spot.
They gave him the spot, and so another first down for the Colonels. Ryan Alston out of Ocean Township High School in Palmerton. First and 10. Second first down of the drive for the Colonels. Perry to Smith. Boy, he just got the handoff there, and Smith is going to get about 4 yards as he's run out of bounds right in front of the Wilkes bench.
Ryan Bucher, one of the men who got him out of bounds there on the far side, number 27.
So second down, we'll call it 6, gain of 4. You can hear the wind in the background just kind of really kicking up. It is an extremely windy day. The Colonels have the wind at their back as we approach the 10-minute mark here. Oh, and this time Smith goes down, met right at the line of scrimmage by David Krause, and no gain on the play.
Malcolm Powell, number 68, helping out Krause also on that play.
Some good gang tackling on the part of the Monarchs. Monarchs in their first full season, as we had mentioned earlier on, of varsity competition here in terms of football. Played 2 seasons where they played a JV schedule, so a lot of youth on the Monarch side. Here's Boo Perry looking to throw. He fires. He's got a man. It is complete. Steve Endress making the catch, and that is good for a first down. Third one of the drive. This drive started back on the Wilkes University 47-yard line. You got another look there. Good catch as he got both feet in.
Perry looking left on the first series, for the first time rather. He threw twice on the right side, deep to Alston. This time he came back to the near side.
Steve Endress now needs 8 catches to break the Wilkes single-season receiving record. They look to go to a great hit over there on the part of Dennis Bowers, who came up to put a for-real lick on Endress, and Endress just could not hang on. There you got another look. Second down, 10. The spot of the football is the 15-yard line here of the Monarchs.
Bowers is out of Pottsville, one of the many, many players we'll be calling today who come from eastern Pennsylvania.
Jason Smith smothered at the line of scrimmage, making the hit.
Wilkes line has been having their way with the Monarchs line coming downfield on this drive, but the last 2 plays the Kings defense has held. They're getting into the ball game. Tony Volpe, number 41, the defensive captain, has his men in the defensive huddle. Shotgun for Perry.
Chad Ormond on the last stop for the Monarchs. Perry looking to throw. Throws over the middle. It is incomplete as the pass was intended for Wade. Or Kenny Wade was thrown just a little bit behind him. Keep in mind that the wind is going to move the football just about any time that you put the thing in the air.
And it's hard for the quarterback to read these wind patterns as well.
Kind of like what is known as Kentucky windage when you put that up in the air.
Well, we've got a man who likes the breeze. This will be the field goal kicker for Wilkes. He's going to have the strong wind to his back.
And that's Joel O'Donnell. The sophomore, 5'9", 160 pounds. He's going to put all 160 into this. Should have no problem getting the distance, but it sails wide to the left.
And you can see the wind take the official's hat off as he's making his call. That's what happened. The wind just took that ball. It looked like it was kicked fine. It looked like it had the distance by plenty, but that wind just whipped right across. And the Kings defense is stiffened and held here at their 15-yard line. And that's got to be a break as they bring the ball out to the 20. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Monarchs deep in their own territory, but still even on the scoreboard. A great defensive stand on the last 4 plays.
One of the things that will come into play here this afternoon is field position, and you'll have to look for that. Out of the wishbone.
Myers carries.
John Myers gets maybe 2 yards. The Wilkes defense extremely stingy as the Monarchs being talked to on the sideline.
That defense has scored 3 shutouts and only allowed 2 points in 1 other game this year. So in 9 games, they've been very productive for Joe Timo.
And right here, they force a turnover and a big break. Coming up with the football is Mark Buss. Mark Buss out of Dallas High School on the football, and someone got a hand in there, and it made all the difference in the world. Mark Buss, senior, 6'2", 235, a Ted Jackson product.
And a good one. 8:24 to go in the first quarter, no score, but after just 1 play, Wilkes is back on offense, this time at the 17-yard line of the Monarchs.
Perry looking to throw while the wind's at his back. It's complete. Endress, and Endress is to about the 3. So Endress and Perry linking up, something that they have done much of. Watch from behind. That's a good throw with that kind of wind.
14 on the play. First and goal.
And it will be first down and goal to go from the 3.
38 yards passing so far for Perry on the ball game.
This time the backs are in an eye.
And the middle of the Kings line comes right back up on that one.
That was Larry Yadiski, and Yadiski gained virtually nothing. And that will make it a 2nd down. Goal to go from the 3. Thanks for tuning in. Same-day coverage of Wilkes at Kings. NCAA Division III football here this afternoon. Smith gets only a yard. And the Monarch defense doing a very nice job.
Looked like Denny Bowers was in on the first hit, number 20. It's tough down there, and they're making it tough, but Wilkes is inside knocking on the door again.
Smith again. Smith does not get in. 4th down. The Monarch defense very stingy.
Again, Bowers was in there, made the first hit. Ryan Booker, number 27, helped out on the play. And it's too bad you can't really hear the enthusiasm in the crowd here in the stands beneath us. If you can hear a rumble, we can feel it.
As the press box is shaking.
The D for Kings and the fans in the stands are up and ready to roll. They're trying to spur them on right now.
Coach Joe DeMelfi says we're going for it. Flying up and over the pile. Jason Smith, touchdown.
Well,
a 1-yard touchdown run for Jason Smith.
1-yard run and about a 6-yard leap on that play. He had the wind behind him. Maybe it helped him out as he went right over the line. Up and over.
Let the wind blow you.
Up and over. Now we'll see how we make out with the extra point attempt.
Good look from behind. And
Joel
on to
O'Donnell.
attempt the point after. That's a look at Jason Smith. Joel O'Donnell will attempt the point after.
Long count.
The placement, it's blocked.
Number 20, Denny Bowers. We called his name in the last 2 series by Wilkes. I believe he was the man that got in and did it.
I'll tell you, the Monarch defense has been playing extremely good football here through the first half of the first quarter.
Very true. They have had their backs to the wall right from the start. Wilkes took the opening toss, the coin, and decided that they would take possession of the ball. They kicked off to Kings. Kings was pinned in deep. They were at about their 26-yard line to start. Then after they held on the first series and the field goal went wide, they fumbled the ball on the first play from scrimmage. So Wilkes has been inside payoff territory most of the game, and on that occasion they were able to block the extra point. But the defense, the defensive center of the line, and Bowers coming up from his safety position, they look tough for the Monarchs. Of course, they're going up against one of the best offenses in Division III football right now. And a team in Joe DeMelfi's Wilkes Colonels who are looking forward to a draw tomorrow to decide who they will be meeting in playoff competition, and that is something that tells you how Joe DeMelfi has turned the program around here at Wilkes.
6 minutes and 11 seconds remain here. First quarter of action.
Kings with 2 men deep, and one of those men deep, of course, is Ball. He's there all everything.
And Ricky Henderson, the other deep man. This is going to be Jim Ball. Ball from the 15. Ball trying to get to the outside, gets a block, now turns it up and gets to the 30-yard line. What a tremendous block by number 75. That is Mike Shutt. Boy, Shutt just leveled one of the Wilkes defenders.
Gave Ball the time to get outside and get the ball upfield. There you see the play coming up now.
Watch for the block
Here
coming.
she
Well,
comes.
just out of your
Oh, we
screen.
missed it. Okay, 75.
Mike Shutt with a great hit.
1st and 10 at the 30 for the Monarchs.
Ball loses about a yard, coming up to make the tackle.
Stop by Modla.
Was Mike Modla. Loss of 1 on the play.
For Kings on offense on the ground, we've got the -1, -2, -1, -1. So you can see the problem they've had, and of course going into this strong wind, they're not able to put the ball up to try to get a little distance.
Looking to throw into the wind, incomplete.
Excellent double coverage down there. The man who was intended for was number 36. That's Brian Litz. Litz was covered. One of the defenders in there on him was number 1 for the Colonels, Joe Woodward, out of Cardinal Brennan High School down in Ashland. So that's the first attempt at passing we've seen today from the Monarchs.
Long count, they give it. This is Bennett. And Bennett, Todd Bennett, running out of that fullback slot, manages to get about 4 or 5 yards, but it's going to be well short of first down yardage. Well, they give him officially a gain of 6. Generous spot to the 34 in a punting situation coming up for the Monarchs. Jim Ball.
Yank deep to receive for the Monarchs.
Only
Is
1
the
man
punter.
deep.
A low floater, which is about all you can hope for, is going to roll dead at the 36-yard line. We'll be back to see what the Colonels do.
Wilkes University, take charge of your future. Your solution for quality and affordability.
you bought your last loaf of bread, did you need to buy the whole bakery? When you flew from New York to Chicago, did you have to buy the plane? Then why do people still buy copiers when what they really want are copies? Top Copy solves that dilemma with its new Total Copy Plan. The plan covers everything: equipment, supplies, service, everything. You simply pay by the copy. Call today for more information. Stop buying copiers and start buying copies.
Welcome back to first quarter action here from Monarch Field. A gain of 4 on first down for Jason Smith. Second down, 6. Ball right at the 40-yard line. Boo Perry looking to throw. Gives the pump fake. He's going deep. He has a man. Alston. And Alston is in for the touchdown.
60 yards from the line of scrimmage. Alston beat his man down the right side, and it was just a question of Perry hooking up with him and getting the ball in his hands. A beautiful run, a nice straight pattern right down the right sidelines, and Alston went all the way in. 60 yards for the touchdown for the Wilkes University Colonels, and they take a 12-0 lead here.
It was the pump fake that froze the defensive back, and then Alston just took off, and boy, you can throw the ball a long way this afternoon.
Particularly with that wind at your back, and Alston, of course, was aided by that, but his speed, it wasn't even close going into the end zone as he had the defense beat. And this Wilkes University offense we've heard so much about is really showing what they can do here this afternoon.
They're looking for 2. Perry to throw. Chased out of the pocket. Heavy pressure comes. Does he get in? He does. A great athletic play on the part of Boo Perry to get into the corner of the end zone. That was not a designed run. He simply made the best of a bad situation, and the score is 14-0.
What Perry did on that play, when he saw his defenders covered in the end zone, he just kept running, hoping somebody would get loose. No one did. And he just read it right into the right-hand corner and got in there.
There's a flag down.
Flag.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Okay, we have an unsportsmanlike conduct play after the play, so that will be assessed against the Wilkes Colonels.
We asked Coach Joe DeMelfi about the renewal of this rivalry.
Very good for Division III football. The rivalry should be a very good one. We're 2 blocks apart, so that's going to help both schools become very much involved in it.
With the penalty, Wilkes will be kicking from the 20, and we had mentioned that field position here, Neil, could be a factor throughout the course of the afternoon, and the Monarchs, despite the fact that they're going to be receiving with the wind in their face, should end up with relatively good field position here. In fact, their best of the day.
Yes, they haven't been to the 35 yet in their own territory. It looks as if they should make it this time. Talking about Boo Perry just for a moment, Roger, we've got him now for 98 yards in passing on that 60-yard touchdown play. So unofficially, we've got him just under that 100 mark right now. Pretty good name for a deep man to run back a touchdown, Ricky Henderson.
Yes, it is. Number 23.
Where is Ricky now? Toronto yet, or has he moved on?
I'm not sure.
I think he's one of the free agents this year.
Yeah.
Toronto didn't decide to pay him a lot of money to.
You know, one of the things about this level of football is the fact that you are watching this afternoon basically non-scholarship athletes in terms of, sports athletics. Oh, a great hop, and it's going to be Jim Ball who picks it up at the 11-yard line. And Ball manages to get back to about the 26, but what a gracious hop that took if you're on the Wilkes University side.
You couldn't ask for anything more. He was kicking with the penalty from his own 20, and we're talking about King should get the ball in pretty good position. Well, they're right back pinned inside their 30 again. Joe DeMelfi ordered that hop.
I think he did.
27-yard line for the Kings Monarchs coming out 1st and 10.
Off of the wishbone. There is absolutely nowhere to run for John Myers. Well, we asked Rich Manello, the head coach of Kings, how he felt about being the decided underdog coming in here this afternoon.
Well, you know, I think all that stuff goes away after the first 3 collisions. You know, we can build and talk about all that stuff all week long, but it comes down to that about 5 after 1, you know, the collisions are going to start out here. And at that point, you've got to be ready to play. And we are not approaching this week any different than any other week. You can't do that. You have to have a set way that you do things. We believe in what we're doing. The kids believe in what we're doing. And you plan and you work and you go. And when you're in between these white lines, whether it's Tuesday night or Saturday afternoon, you got to let it all go, because there is no reason to save it. You know, I don't care if it's the first week or if it's week 10, week 5. What are you saving it for? You know, you come back across that white line, you can't take that stuff with you. You might as well let it go. And so it's exciting. There's no question about it.
Tony Fabry made that one exciting as he took the pitch off the wishbone, and it would appear as though the Monarchs have their initial first down of the afternoon. So 1st and 10 here as they get to the 42-yard line.
Puts them in plus yardage also for the first time on rushing for the day.
A wishbone team. John Myers carries for a gain of about 5. And that'll bring up a 2nd down 5. Well, there's keys to every ball game. What do you think, Joe DeMelfi, the keys here this afternoon?
Well, you know, everybody wins when they've got that grease pen in their hands. You know, it's pretty easy on the board. You've got it. There's no question they've got a great football team. We all know that. They play well on offense and play well on defense. They've got some explosive kids. They've stayed together for 4 years, and they should be, and I know they're very proud of what they've done, and they deserve every single thing that they've gotten. So they are a great team. That's obvious. They took 2 of the biggest teams in this league traditionally, and they beat them. So they've proved how good they are throughout the entire season. So you have to come out. You've got to be ready to play, obviously, which our kids are always ready to play, and then it comes down to executing. And, you know, if you do well and you execute things, it's not what you do on offense and defense or kicking game. It's who's doing it and how you're doing it, period. It comes down to playing and executing. We got to put them in a position to get them lined up so they have a chance to be successful. Then you have to take it personally and make plays. And so that's the key. You know, there's no big science to it. You got to get them ready to go and let them loose when the kickoff goes.
And, of course, that was not Joe DeMelfi. That was Rich Manello of the Monarchs. The ball is on the floor. Who's going to come up with it? It won't make any difference. It's going to be Wilkes football, but coming up for the Colonels with the big play was Jake Cole, number 40.
Well, there you heard Rich Manello saying when you start getting the hits at 5 after 1, what they tried to do there was a direct snap from center to an up man to try to get the first down rather than punt against the wind and maybe catch Wilkes looking not for a play such as that, but it didn't work as the ball was bobbled, and the Colonels are back in business at the 36-yard line of the Kings College Monarchs, and they have a 14-0 lead as we go under a minute to go in the first quarter.
Jason Smith breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and rumbles upfield for near first down yardage. Gain on the play of, are they going to give him the first down? Tell us, sir. Well, we're not real sure. Watch, look at that hit. Woo. Jason Smith just did it on that one. And they're going to bring in the chains here to measure.
This is a very impressive running back. He picks up a lot of yardage. He's got powerful legs. He drives right down the field.
Smith is 5'11", 184 pounds. And on this play, apparently, has gotten enough for the first down.
First down, Colonels.
5th of the day for the Colonels on my sheet. 4 by passing. So they're back in business at the center of the Kings line, looking to hold again. They managed to hold them on one series earlier.
You know, one of the neat things about being an underdog in a game like this is that you can afford, Neil, to pull out all of the stops. You can afford to do things like snap the ball short in the punt formation deal there. And you can really do just about whatever you need to do. Here's Perry looking for it all, intended for Austin, overthrown in the end zone. 2nd down, 10.
That last run by Jason Smith for the first down has broken the Wilkes Colonels career rushing record. He now has 2,877 yards on his career.
That is one long way. Here's another look. You can see it was thrown just a little bit behind, and the wind, because of the way that it's blowing, could have had an effect on that. That ball could have been on the money. The wind actually has an effect on anything that gets put up in the air, and the Colonels here are going to have the wind at their backs for another 14 seconds here in this first half, and Boo Perry trying to take advantage of it right there. Here is Jason Smith on 2nd down, getting 6. It'll be 2nd down 4.
Smith carries for 5.
And that's going to do it for the first quarter of action from Monarch Field. The wind advantage will go to the Monarchs when we return.
It's time to plan a great-looking living room during the Pennsylvania House Upholstery Sale. Picture this: occasional tables and chairs that fit into any room, and sofas that fit your traditional style, or your country style, or your eclectic style, with savings that fit everybody's style. The Pennsylvania House Upholstery Sale, going on now.
Save up to 50% at Town & Country Furniture Galleries in downtown Wilkes-Barre.
Hi, I'm Jim Morris, here to tell you what's new at Stroud's. Well, number 1, the catalog's new because the merchandise is new. Number 2, Stroud's store layout is new with more information at your fingertips and self-service. Direct, quick checkout if the item is small, or hands-free when the items are large.
Second quarter about to get underway, 14-0. It is Wilkes University on top of the King's College Monarchs. And Boo Perry says, wind or no wind, I'm looking to throw. Here comes pressure. It is complete to Steve Endress. And Endress, with his 3rd reception on the afternoon, has the football down to the 10-yard line. That is a first down. It keeps the drive alive.
Also puts Perry up to 111 yards passing in his quest. He needed 285 today to set a career passing mark for the Colonels.
Endress now needs 6 catches to break the Wilkes single-season receiving record. And Perry said, I don't care if the wind is blowing. Jason Smith turns the corner. Jason Smith goes out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
Ridden out of bounds, 53 coming up on the play, Chad Ormond. Here you see Smith rolling out to the outside. Boy, he runs bigger than 185.
Sure does. And gave it everything. You saw that little extra hop step in there. And that managed another 2 or 3 yards. Perry, long count. Gives to Smith, and Smith, is he in? They say no, he was not in. A superb defensive effort on the part of Frank Pickle.
GAR grad, you'll see him make the stop.
You got it right there.
Pickle was
actually
in on the
Dennis
play also.
Bowers.
Bowers was in there.
Ray Fox also came up to help to stop Jason Smith. First down. The Monarchs here have continually played with their backs against the wall. The first down play, that was a first down, by the way, on the last carry. Inside the 1. You'll notice Boo Perry's helmet just a little bit different than some of the others, and that's because he's had a couple of concussions in his playing career, and that's a special piece of equipment that is intended and designed to cushion any kind of a blow. Jason Smith into the end zone. Touchdown. Another Jason Smith score and another 1-yard run.
Quick opener right up the line there. You see the Wilkes line get open. Smith with the touchdown for 6 more points for the Colonels. They lead it 20-0, 13-12 to go in the half.
That is the second 1-yard run for Jason Smith.
O'Donnell again will be kicking the extra point, this time for the first time into the strong wind.
Takes that deep breath. And the kick is good, despite kicking it into the wind. Boy, it looked like that thing had lots of leg, but it fluttered at the very end there, and just an indicator of just how strong the wind is. Let's give you another look at Jason Smith going in for the touchdown run. Boom. Said it's easy.
Nothing to it at all. Yeah. Well, I think what we've seen so far, Roger, is Wilkes coming out and doing just what everybody thought they would, show a fantastic diversified offensive attack that was going to score a lot of points, and I think everybody expected that. But what I think is very interesting here this afternoon is the tremendous enthusiasm on the part of these fans on the Kings side. This is a game that people have been waiting for a long time, since the announcement of resumption of football, and that Kings and Wilkes would be competing in the same division of the MAC. And for the Wilkes players, these seniors and juniors are young men who committed themselves to Wilkes at a time when the Wilkes program was down at the bottom of the conference. They were not winning many ball games. Then Joe DeMelfi came in, recruited this group. This is his first total recruiting group, and they've worked it all the way up to an undefeated season and a championship. So what you have here is a new program going against a rejuvenated program, and you know, another couple of years you might see Kings right at the point where they're doing the same thing with Wilkes.
You know, there are no seniors on the Kings roster.
Right.
We should point that out to you. There are no seniors on the Kings roster. These are guys that started as freshmen and sophomores. There are just a couple of juniors, as O'Donnell's kick will be taken by Ball at the 20. Ball behind the wedge, looks for room up the middle, and is met initially by Lou Atkinson. And Atkinson just dropped him right there. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Monarchs from the 26-yard line.
And again, Kings has the problem of starting deep in their own territory.
From the wishbone. The give goes to the middle. And there's some very tough yards to be had in there when you run from the wishbone. You got to run that play. That's the one keeps everybody honest, and that's John Myers. You use that to set other things up. And that will be actually a loss on the play of about a half a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. We'll call it 10. This time, the pitch back to Tony Fabry, and Fabry manages only 2 yards, making it 3rd down and 8. Well, coming up on PCTN, note the times. You will not want to miss the Race of Champions on most of these PCTN channels. Some outstanding racing. The modified show, perhaps one of the better racing shows you will see all season long. Please note the times right here on PCTN, the Race of Champions. On his feet, John Myers, who burst right up the middle, and that time the hole was there. 2nd first down for the Monarchs, and they have advanced the football to the 44, their best field position yet.
There it is again, Roger, and as you said the last time they tried that play, that's the play to keep everybody honest. Myers got the break, picked up 14 yards, a 1st down, and they're out to the 44.
The option back, Fabry. At the 45 is run out of bounds. A lot of ground covered that time, but a gain from south to north, I guess is how you would say it here, of only 2.
And it's the south to north that's going to count for the Monarchs. They have to reach that end zone 54 yards away right now.
People enjoying themselves out here this afternoon, despite the cold. Loose football. They tried to make it look as though they were coming to the near side, and they flipped it back.
Mark Jones saved the day there. Mark is the right tackle for Kings, and on the flip,
Jason Wilkes was the man intended to get the football, and coming up with it, big number 59, Mark Jones.
Loss on the play back to the 40-yard line.
You know, it's one of those things that we had mentioned before where the Monarchs here can pull out all the stops. Here is John Myers getting 5 very tough yards, maybe even 6 till they brought him down. And that's going to bring up a punting situation this time when Jim Ball will step back in punt formation. He will have the wind at his back. He'll get this one away from about his own 35-yard line. The deep man for Wilkes is Greg Yankow. Oh, and he loses the football. That's a live ball. Snowed in the end zone. That should be safety. They say no. It's at the 6-inch line. Well, the official was right there. He had the angle. Perhaps. Momentum changing. We'll be right back.
The athlete who plays Division III football exemplifies what the great game of college football is all about. He participates without the benefit of a scholarship, works hard on the field for the love of the game, and maintains his priorities off the field by completing his studies. He is, in every sense, a true student athlete. The Downtown Wilkes-Barre Touchdown Club recognizes that dedication and determination and is proud to present the Melberger Award to the outstanding Division III Football Player of the Year.
Wilkes University, take charge of your future. Your institution for quality and affordable education. Knowledge, fun, power, success.
Wilkes will take you where you want to be.
Wilkes University, take charge of your future. Wilkes.
Our Kenny Wade, while we were at the break, has just gone 97 yards for a touchdown run. Our Kenny Wade broke through the right side, turned it upfield, and no one caught him out of Willingboro, New Jersey. Only a freshman, our Kenny Wade, with the big play.
Freshman with senior speed. He really came out of there in a hurry, and just like that, it's 6 more points for Wilkes. O'Donnell again to try the point after.
Into the wind. And this one is good. So 27-0. We're at the 9-minute 40-second mark.
And that was as quick an exchange of momentum as you could see. The Kings forces were really rallied by the 54-yard punt by Ball that was down. It had to have been inside the 1-foot line when it was muffed on the return. And on the second play from scrimmage, the momentum changes all the way around as Wade rushes 97 yards for a touchdown.
Frogman Team Bravo, proceed to dive point. Check your gear. You will swim to Point Alpha. Your course is 220 degrees. Adjust for tide. Your depth is 10 feet. Current is
We can enjoy a peaceful summer day because they're out here keeping that peace. The men and women of the Navy, out here today, safeguarding your tomorrow.
Our Kenny Wade, as we had mentioned, only a freshman.
Good young talent. You know, Wilkes doing as well as they did this year. They're doing it with a young team as well. They have a sophomore quarterback, and they have a lot of good talent that'll be returning next year.
Short kick hits one of the up men and is going to be covered at the 36-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Monarchs.
Brian Litz was the man who touched the ball for the Monarchs. 37-yard line of King's College. They'll take over 1st and 10. Momentary delay here now as they're getting the chain gang back upfield.
It was a long run for them, Neil.
They didn't do it as quick as Mr. Wade did.
No, they didn't.
Bennett carry.
And it's an opportunity for us to tell you that today's game is being brought to you in part by Diversified Record Services, Incorporated, a professional information management company. 800-458-4710. Diversified Record Services. Oh, nowhere to go, and drew a lot of attention and a lot of company as Sean Richards is wrapped up for a loss.
Loss of 2 on the play.
It's back to the 35.
Wilkes' defensive line, outstanding today. They've held Kings to a total of 30 yards so far in the ball game, and 14 of that came on one play.
The pitch back is to Keith Bretzis. Sean Richards is out of Pittston area. He's a sophomore, 6 feet, 175 pounds, and a lot of football in front of him for his playing days yet here at King's College. Meanwhile, Jim Ball, with a wind to his back, will drop back in punt formation. He'll get this one away. It's a good kick.
All the way to the end zone.
Ben McEwen will watch it bounce into the end zone, and the Monarchs will find themselves on defense, and Wilkes University will set up shop at the 20-yard line.
Well, his last 2 punts, one's been for 62 yards. That one that rolled to the end zone, of course, 62 yards from the line of scrimmage, and his previous punt of 54 yards. So there's a big difference when you have that wind behind you, as Ball's earlier punts were into the wind.
Lou Perry to Jason Smith, gain of only a yard. And there have been times, Neil, throughout the course of the first half of action here, that the Monarch defense has really taken it to the Wilkes offense and have been very, very stingy. A lot of promise on the part of the offense in terms of the Monarchs.
Well, there's no question about it. When you have sophomores going up against seniors, there's a big difference in age and size and development experience. All these things add up.
This is Alston. First down as he goes down at the 32. Coming up to make the hit was Mark Levine for the Monarchs. We asked Joe DeMelfi about motivation and the Wilkes Colonels.
One of the things we're telling our players is not too many people can play on 10-0 teams every year. So that's one of our motivations. We want to be MAC champions. We also want to be undefeated MAC champions. The second part of it is, if there's something that's going to happen after this game relative to the playoffs, we want to be able to come off this game playing well to enter that part of our season.
Bowers on the stop for the Monarchs.
And right now you'd have to say that this team is really motivated out here this afternoon. An opportunity to play in front of a very large crowd, despite some rather nasty weather conditions right here. The Kings side of the stadium is essentially full. There are some seats, but not a lot. And the Wilkes side is jam-packed. They've been here very early. Perry fakes, looking to throw. Here comes pressure. How did he get out of that one? Perry still on his feet. Scrambles, now lets it fly, and it's going to come up short. How did he get out of that one?
We've got a flag on the play, and what we saw there, Roger, you'll never see again. The extra helmet that Perry wears was knocked off on that play, so he lost the top portion of his helmet. I thought it was the ball laying out there on the field at first when I saw something round laying out there. And as you look out, Perry's just getting that reattached now.
On the far sideline, they are working on Boo Perry. That's a look at the man from Canton. He's a sophomore. 6'1", 184 pounds, and boy, does he have a future left here.
Good rush on that play for the Monarchs by number 90, Anthony Candela. I don't know how Perry got loose. It must have been, you know, it could have been when the top part of the helmet came off on the hit. That might have been just enough to get him out of the grasp of the defender, because it was an impossible play to look at to see him get loose. Ineligible man downfield is the call.
After all that running around, I guess it would have to be.
And that's almost unavoidable, because you stay, you hold for a while on a count on a block, and then you figure something's good happened back there. So the defensive man moves up looking for a downfield block, and you get called for the man down.
Perry to Smith. And Smith with just a couple as he gets back about 3 or 4 yards following the penalty.
Rushing attack for Wilkes now up to 158 yards, 123 through the air. 5.5 minutes to go in the first half.
3rd down 9. Perry looking to convert this one. Oh, and it slips out of his hands, and that should bring up a punting situation. Wait, now coming into today's game, Wilkes had to be considered the heavy favorite.
One of the things I tell our players is don't listen to all of those people who say it should be easy, because it's never easy. Once you go on a field, Kings wants to win as badly as we do. We expect a very good football game from them. We have to be well prepared, and I know they'll be well prepared.
So all that favorite stuff didn't make any difference. Oh, they say this one was tipped, so you're not going to get a roughing the kicker penalty.
And a great Kings bounce.
Very much so. And it will be Monarch football at the 45. A good rush. I'll tell you, there are a lot of things that you got to like about the Monarch club coming in here. They really have played well in many areas. A couple of letdowns. Very quickly, they're up and over the ball. The Wilkes team still not off of the field. From the wishbone, John Myers, 3 yards.
You know, you can see the fundamentals are there, Roger. There's no question about that. The coaching staff of Kings has done a fine job preparing a young squad. And if you look at it, when you're playing basically freshmen and juniors, a lot of these kids are guys who wouldn't be playing just yet. They wouldn't be ready to play varsity ball. It's exactly a year or two away.
Got to see that as a great opportunity. Looking to throw. It is complete, and first down yardage as Richards completes that one to Jim Ball.
And that's going to be good for 15 yards.
At the 28-yard line. The Monarchs threatening to score and want to take one into the locker room with them as we near the half, but on that particular play, John Myers could not find a hole, and making the hit for the Colonels was Larry Trachis.
And you're going to see a fired-up Wilkes defense now. They're inside the 30. And Wilkes has a great defensive record this year, 3 shutouts, 1 game where they only allowed a safety, so they're not looking to see any lights go up on that side of the Kings board at all.
Here is Ball. Ball with a great spin as he got hit. Will get the first down. The hit by the Colonels by Mike McCree. We have a flag on the play. Let's wait on the call. Get another look.
Ball with good speed, got outside, headed upfield, slowed down. For Wilkes, the first man in there that slowed him down, gave him a little bit of traffic. There was number 14, Mike Modla from Nanticoke.
The indication here is a face mask call against Kings. And let's see what we have here. They're still talking about it. Rich Manello is going to get an explanation on the near sideline here as to what happened. And it will move the football back to the 30-yard line.
Face masking call against the offense.
Something you don't see very often. But it is just the same a fact, and it will make it a 2nd down and 12.
Negates a great gain and beautiful territory for Kings. They're back outside the 30 now.
And try to get it back up the middle with John Myers.
Myers is definitely their go-to man, much as the same as Smith is for Wilkes. He's the man that they're looking for to get the opening. It worked a couple times.
3rd down play. 3rd down and 9. Option this time. Richards tried to pull it up and managed only a yard. Well, this was the first time, as we had mentioned during the course of the pregame, that these two teams have met in 41 years.
I don't know if anybody realizes how big it is until Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. It's exciting. Anytime, you know, you get a chance to play somebody in anything, checkers, marbles, it doesn't matter. You win. That's exciting. And to take 2 schools that are this close together and to take just the kids, the whole environment and everything, and how important football is to the whole area here. And our proximity is incredible, how close. I've never seen 2 schools this close. So it's going to be exciting. And I've said right along, you know, 3 years ago when we got here, that was the big question. The game was still 3 years away, and everybody wanted to know about the Kings-Wilkes game. And I think the important thing is that when there's competition and when it's kept positive and when there's an edge put on people, we talk about our kids, put an edge on each other. Keep a pressure edge in a positive way, and you'll make each other better. Well, in this situation, there's an edge between 2 schools, 2 teams, 2 companies, whatever the case is, somebody comes out and benefits. And we're in the business for the benefit of young people. So when there's competitions and an edge between 2 places in a positive way, the kids benefit. And when that happens, everybody comes out a winner.
Some thoughts from head coach Rich Manello on the renewal of the football rivalry between Wilkes University and Kings College.
Markety
the ball was turned over on a fumble, by the way.
Wade picked up 4 on that play, Roger. Now he's got it again.
Nowhere to run this time as he's met at the line of scrimmage and tackled down immediately by Dave Nasworth. That's a look at our Kenny Wade. Is he quick or what?
Freshman, he's going to put some numbers on the board for Wilkes over the next few years. You can be sure of that. You know, Roger, we were commenting about the crowd in the stands. You notice now the end zone to our left has gotten filled up by fans who have come in since the game started, and they're standing there. The ball's loose. Perry picks it up, though.
Boo Perry refuses to go down and turns what should have been a loss into first down yardage at the 45-yard line.
Number 90, Anthony Cadella's in there on the stop, but he did a beautiful job of coming up with something, making something out of nothing. There you see the ball hit the ground. He picks it up, starts the other way.
He should have been down.
He should have been down. The ball should have been picked up.
That's twice today that we've seen him do that, where he should have been tackled down, and it just did not happen that way.
Wilkes University's taking a timeout here with 56 seconds to go in the half.
Coming up during the half, we'll have a talk with Cliff Melberger, the man for whom the Melberger Award was named in his honor.
And for the first time today, Roger, we look across at the flag on the flagpole directly across from us. The flag is just hanging. Starting to hang down now.
There it is. That thing was standing straight out all day long.
You could count the stars. You knew it was a flag that wasn't left over from the last time these two teams played. There's a good trivia question. How many states were there the last time these teams played?
And I'm going to say it almost had to be 48, no?
Yeah. Good answer. You win the prize. Which
so
is
much for that.
16-ounce glass of ice water, which you need today.
Boo Perry looking for a screen. It is complete. No, it is incomplete.
And what a rush.
Trap.
What a rush put on by number 99, Fred Pettit. Came up from the right side, and he met Perry with a bang. And Perry, again, showing how quick he is getting that ball away. There you see him rolling out. He's not even going to see Pettit coming up.
Yeah, that was on the ground. Our Kenny Wade just couldn't find the handle there. Second down and 10. The clock, however, is stopped with 51 seconds remaining here in the first half from Monarch Field. Perry this time from the shotgun. Chased out of the pocket, lets it fly, and the wind, you can tell, just made it flutter as it got up there, and that will bring up a third down and 10. Very difficult to throw when you're moving from left to right on your screen there. That is actually from north to south, and that wind just whipping up out of the south. The flag was still just momentarily. It is once again standing for all practical purposes straight out.
And as quick as Perry is, and working out of the shotgun on that, two Monarchs were in the backfield to give him a little bit of a hurry. So this Kings young defensive line definitely is in there to play.
Again from the shotgun. Wade at the 50, slips down, and Wade thought he may have had an opportunity had he cut back, and very well he might have.
Grass a little wet from the drizzle this morning, and that took Wade down. He still picked up a nice 7 yards, 8 yards on that play. They're in Kings territory at the 48 with 12 seconds to go and counting, so I don't think we're going to see a pass to the sidelines to stop the clock like we did last night.
I don't think so, but you got to try to put this one up and into the end zone. Well, now Boo Perry is going to ask for a timeout. We understand that the name Boo is a bit of a secret, as it is actually Damon Perry from Canton High School, and he won't tell anybody where the nickname came from.
Well, I'll make a bet with you. He's only a sophomore. He's putting up a lot of statistics, and I'll bet you somebody will do a lot of investigative work between now and the time he graduates, and we will find out where Boo came from.
Well, listen, do you have questions about the Clinton health care reform proposal? Questions like, if health care reform becomes the law of the land, will I be able to see my family doctor? If I can't see my doctor, will I have to pay extra? And will my family doctor and I be able to decide on how to treat my illness? These are serious questions that deserve straight answers. So get the facts about health care reform on Straight Talk. Straight Talk airs every Wednesday at 7 and Fridays at 12:30 on PCTN. Each month, Don Pachentz gets straight answers about what is making news in the PCTN viewing area. Next month's show, by the way, will deal with toys and child safety with the Christmas season very close to being upon us here. 4 seconds left. Time's off the clock now. The old hook and ladder. Does it work? Endress is going to get credit for the reception. Alston was on the receiving end of the hook and ladder play, and time has expired. Ryan Bucher made the stop.
Booker was playing deep on that. He came up and he was able to stop Wade. Very exciting play right out of the playbook for Joe DeMelfi's Wilkes Colonels. And the half ends 28-0.
Listen, you want to stick with us during the half. We're going to have a talk, as we had mentioned, with Cliff Melberger, the man for whom the Melberger Award was named. And coming up during the halftime, the E.L. Myers High School Marching Band. Watch this, the hook and ladder. Maybe you haven't seen it for a while. There it is. Stopped short.
The athlete who plays Division III football exemplifies what the great game of college football is all about. He participates without the benefit of a scholarship, works hard on the field for the love of the game, and maintains his priorities off the field by completing his studies. He is, in every sense, a true student athlete. The Downtown Wilkes-Barre Touchdown Club recognizes that dedication and determination and is proud to present the Melberger Award to the outstanding Division III Football Player of the Year.
At King's College, you can experience the sensation of discovery. Whether you major in science, business, communications, education, or any other of King's 35 programs, you'll soon learn why major national publications like Barron's Best Buys and College Education have singled out King's curriculum. An ongoing $8 million renovation project for King Sciences facilities, new athletic fields, the $7 million William G. McGowan School of Business, and King's graduate programs have further enhanced King's mission of preparing students for satisfying and purposeful lives. King's personalized approach challenges students to succeed and leads 97% of our graduates to employment within 1 year after graduation. Call for an appointment to visit campus. The Holy Cross Fathers from the University of Notre Dame founded King's College in 1946. From its beginnings as a four-year Catholic college with a strong liberal arts tradition, King's has grown into a nationally recognized leader in higher education, where 2,300 students major in 35 programs in the College of Arts and Sciences and the William G. McGowan School of Business. Our student-faculty ratio is 17-1, and 2/3 of our faculty have their PhD or terminal degrees in their field. Major national publications like Barron's Best Buys and College Education have singled out King's assessment program and its curriculum. King's molecular biology program emphasizes research, a fact highly regarded by graduate and medical schools. The science division is in the midst of an $8 million expansion program.
When our students come into this lab, they come into a new way of thinking, a new way of seeing.
I love it here. It's really preparing me for med school, and the experience is just great.
King's mass communications graduates have gone on to outstanding careers in mass media and media-related industry throughout the country. In the recently completed $7 million William G. McGowan School of Business, you'll be able to set your sights on a career in accounting, business, finance, international business, human resources management, and more. Career planning starts in your freshman year with the help of the King's Life Development Program. 97% of King's graduates are employed or attending graduate school within the first year.
Students majoring in the Physician's Assistant Program have been batting 1,000 within the last 5 years for job placement.
King's can help put you on the job even before you graduate through its extensive internship program. King's interns have worked at Price Waterhouse, IBM, Walt Disney World, and Hershey Park Entertainment, as well as the U.S. Congress and the state capitol. International internships are also available in places like London, Madrid, and Paris.
Students at King's form lasting friendships through involvement in more than 50 extracurricular activities they plan themselves. Students also participate in 18 intercollegiate and 12 intramural sports in the Scanlon Gymnasium and at the New Monarch Fields, a 33-acre athletic site.
Make plans to visit King's and let us show you around campus. Call for an appointment and see for yourself why students choose King's College.
It's bigger, it's bolder, it's never, it's life.
It's life. And if you're a person, you absolutely won't want to miss out on it. Yes, life. It opens cloud breathing tubes, refreshes like no other, and you can enjoy it wherever you go. That's right. Life's so versatile, there's almost no limit to what you can do with it.
Hi, Mom.
Why, just listen to what satisfied people are already saying about their lives.
I would trade mine for anything.
I wouldn't be soaked without mine. You gotta get one of these. Life. It's so easy to use. Just follow these two simple directions. Don't do drugs. How can you get one? It's easy. There are no numbers to call, no forms to fill out, and no salesman will knock at your door. So act now, because life goes with everything. Except drugs. A message from a drug-free Navy and Marine Corps. Only one per customer.
Welcome back. We are at the half here from Monarch Field in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, where the Wilkes University Colonels have taken a 28-0 edge into the locker room here during the half. And right now, on the field, performing for your halftime enjoyment and halftime pleasure, the E.L. Myers High School Marching Band. Let's take you down to the field now where the band is performing. E.L. Myers High School Marching Band performing here during the half of the event. You have just tuned in 28-0. Wilkes over Kings in this first meeting in over 40 years. the E.L. Myers High School Marching Band performing here during the halftime. We'll be back with more during the halftime show as we continue right after this.
Wilkes University celebrates 60 years of tradition, service, and academic excellence. As a comprehensive university, Wilkes has a diverse student body in a closely knit community of learners and scholars. The Wilkes University campus features the best of both academic worlds, contemporary state-of-the-art facilities, and historic 19th century residence halls. Next spring, Wilkes University will break ground on a $25 million building program, the most ambitious in the school's 60-year history. The new facilities, shown here in red, will include a new academic building, student union, and residence hall. The new construction coincides with an exciting new academic program. The Stark Learning Center will house the new Doctor of Pharmacy program, which begins next fall. This fall, Wilkes opens the Ellen P. Kirby Center for Free Enterprise and Entrepreneurship, the only center of its kind in the region, where today's students will become tomorrow's entrepreneurs. Wilkes University, home of the Kernels of Excellence.
Wilkes University, take charge of your future. Your solution for quality and affordable education. Knowledge, fun, power, success.
Wilkes will take you where you want to be.
Wilkes University, take charge of your future. Wilkes.
Hazleton General Hospital proudly presents its 6th annual Festival of the Trees, November 22nd and 23rd. This two-day pre-holiday fundraising event benefits healthcare services at the Hazleton State General Hospital. Come see over 40 decorated trees, garlands, and wreaths. Visit our snowflake shop, providing a variety of holiday gift items. Enjoy live entertainment and have the children's pictures taken with Santa. The Festival of the Trees, November 22nd and 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Genetti's Best Western in Hazleton.
And welcome back to Monarch Field. We said coming in that perhaps the Monarchs a bit of an underdog. Let's see how the stats line up here and see if that in fact was the case. In the first down department, 13-3, Kings Wilkes in that order. Rushing yards, 180 for Wilkes, 52 for Kings. Passing yardage, 157-16. So Wilkes with a decided edge here. Oddly enough, both teams had the football just about an equal amount of time. That's about as even as you can get. But, you know, it was a first half that had the Monarchs making a lot of very good defensive plays. A little trouble trying to get the offense on track, but this is a team that will have some good potential in Neil Bennett. When you look down the road, these two teams are going to play some very good matchups between each other throughout the course of the upcoming years.
Well, they sure are, Roger, because as you say, they had the ball just about evenly. Offense is a very hard thing to get down. Your timing is important. Everything that goes into it is vital, and a lot of that is experience. And as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we're talking about a team with no seniors, a team with a lot of young men who are playing football at the varsity level, who are playing there ahead of schedule realistically, and it all adds up. And of course, on the other side of the football, you have a team that's looking for an undefeated season, a complete rejuvenation of a program that was in very poor shape wins and losses wise 4 years ago, And you're going to see a lot of differences here over the next 2 years, I think, with the King's College Monarchs. And they're going to have a very easy goal. It's going to be to build up what our friends down the street have. And on the other hand, you're going to have Wilkes saying, we're not going to let those new guys, even though they've been without football for 30 years, they are the new guys. We're not going to let those new guys in town take anything away from us. So I think it's going to be very good for the sports fans of the area, for the athletes of the area, and for people that like to see good contact football.
We'll be right back with the second half kickoff. 28-0, Wilkes over Kings at the half.
When you bought your last loaf of bread, did you need to buy the whole bakery? When you flew from New York to Chicago, did you have to buy the plane? Then why do people still buy copiers when what they really want are copies? Top Copy solves that dilemma with its new Total Copy Plan. The plan covers everything: equipment, supplies, service, everything. You simply pay by the copy. Call today for more information. Stop buying copiers and start buying copies.
Lexus of Wilkes-Barre wants your Mercedes or your BMW, and they're willing to pay top dollar in trade to get it. Find out why so many Mercedes and BMW owners are trading in their cars for one of ours. We're offering some of the highest trade-in allowances in our history in an attempt to restock our used car inventory. Get more for your trade and drive a Lexus for the price of an ordinary car. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Visit Lexus of Wilkes-Barre today, located just a quarter-mile south of Pocono Downs on Route 315.
Just about set to get underway here with the second half of action. A friend, Joe Losh, out of Williamsport, Little League Baseball. He's the guy that makes some of the tough decisions concerning the international aspects of Little League Baseball play, who is a clock operator, stopped by during a brief time here, and we're just about set to go. We're going to send him back to work.
Well, Roger, what we had at the end of the first half on that hook and lateral play, believe it or not, the statisticians were trying to get the ruling. Tom McGuire, the SID for Wilkes, came up with the ruling. Perry gets credit for all the yardage. Wade on the gain only gets from the difference of where he caught the ball on the flip, but the man who caught the pass gets no credit for anything except in his career stats, so it doesn't count as a completed pass, and that's right out of the book. So who stayed up until 2 o'clock in the morning writing that?
He's got one of those NCAA statistics manuals. Well, the third quarter of today's game is being brought to you by Diversified Record Services, a professional information management company. 800-458-4710. Diversified Records can store your records regardless of the size of your corporation. 800-458-4710.
Colonels will receive to start the second
And Wilkes
half.
will get the football to receive here to get the second half going. It'll be interesting to see what happened in the locker rooms here.
Well, I think one of the things, as far as Joe DeMelfi was concerned, would have been just keep things the way it's going. It's going fine on offense. It's going fine on defense. And when you're 9-0 and with 30 minutes of football left in the last game of the regular season, it's got to be a nice afternoon for you, and you've got to give him and his coaching staff a tremendous amount of credit for the work they've done, as we have the people here at Kings for the work they've done coming up from starting a new program to this point here this afternoon. The outcome of the game isn't so much as important as the fact that we're here, we're playing on a facility in a beautiful athletic complex that's the Monarchs Fields here in Wilkes-Barre Township, and now with the facilities Kings has and what Wilkes has over in Kingston, beautiful Division III facilities all the way around.
A quick look at some of the individual statistics. Boo Perry out of Wilkes, 8 of 16 for 157 yards and a touchdown, perhaps is the outstanding thing that jumps off of the sheet, especially considering the wind here. And Steve Endress, who needed 9 catches for the Wilkes career receiving mark, had 4 for 47 yards during the course of the first half. We're underway here in the second half. Our mark. Kenny Wade, flag is thrown very late, and Wade back to the, call it the 39-yard line.
Eric Natal, number 31, was one of the men who brought him down. Clipping is the call against the Colonels. So they'll be starting off from deeper in their territory. Now they've changed that to an illegal block. The end result is penalty against the Wilkes University Colonels. It puts them down to their 22-yard line. 1st and 10 Colonels from that point. And our guess at the halftime for Rich Manello and his Kings squad was, let's get some points on the board. And let's
I'm
let
sure
them know
that was part of his goal. He's very much a goal-oriented individual. And he would be looking for that. He's saying, we don't care how long it takes us. The next thing we want to do is we want to get points on the board. I think you're right. Here's Jason Smith. Jason Smith with first down yardages to the 38-yard line.
Volpe over there on the stop. He might have been stopped by Volpe. And we were blocked by one of the offensive linemen for Wilkes, but it's good for the first down for Smith.
Look at Smith turn the corner. A first down at the 38-yard line. Make it the 39. They go to Smith again, and this time Smith is stacked up by the center of the Monarch defense. Led in on the play there by Dennis Bowers, who has played himself a fine football game this afternoon for the Monarchs. Second down, 7. Perry to throw. Lets it go. It's complete to Alston. It's first down yardage into Monarch territory at the 47-yard line. Tony Volpe again on the defensive coverage for the Monarchs.
That puts Perry to 168 yards on the game.
Boo Perry out of Canton High School in District 4. Nearly slips. Manages to work his way back to the line of scrimmage, or at least close to it.
Looked like he was looking for somebody to pitch to, and there wasn't anyone there. The man who brought him down was 53, Chad Orman, for the Monarchs. They're going to give him one on the play.
Yep, second down and 9. Perry rolls, looks. Endress has a man, or is the man, I should say. His 5th catch of the afternoon, and it's good for first down yardage. Well, Rich Manello needed a philosophy to come in here to put this team together from scratch. Coach, what was it?
Well, you know, the first year we were playing across the valley there at Westside Tech. We threw together a bunch of great spirited kids and some kids mostly that were here already, and we've got 10 juniors left from that group, and we played a freshman type schedule. And then the second year we moved to here without the clubhouse being done, and we worked, you know, through this facility and played a JV, tried to upgrade the schedule. And now this year, you know, obviously our first year in the MAC, you have to understand that there is a learning curve that's going to take place. Although I believe it is complete nonsense to accept getting beat in anything you do. And the kids feel that. So you instill that. You know, we've got an outstanding coaching staff, but it has to come from within the kids. You know, it's got to come from inside what's happening. When that greatness comes out, eventually it starts inside them. And you got to convince them, and they have to believe that they got to keep pressure on each other, stay together, and keep working hard, they'll learn. That's part of it. You do those other things, you're going to learn as you go along. Yet you have to walk a fine line and not accept getting beat. You know, if you accept it and say, well, it's okay, we're learning, that's wrong. That's not good. So that's the real key to this thing. And short-term goals. We started in August. First thing was we're going to get through preseason camp, keep everybody healthy, work as hard as we could, never say that we came off the practice field going backwards. You have a bad day in preseason camp in triples, it's like losing a week. So we accomplished that goal. Then we got into the first week of classes, wanted to get all these young kids adjusted to school and come through there without too much of a hitch. And then we went for win number 1. No matter how long that was going to take, that was our first goal, get win number 1. If it's happened in week 1, good, then we set another goal. And it took us until week 7 to get that. And that's the way it goes. And we got that first win, and then you go on. You go on from there.
And with that philosophy, Neil, you had to be absolutely right. I'm sure what he told his team in the locker room was, okay, look, we're not playing badly on the defensive side of the football here. We've given up a couple of big plays, but what we need to do is we need to get some points on the board, and let's make that our goal here for the second half. Meanwhile, Wilkes looks to add still more. Endress with another catch. And Endress now unofficially with 6 on the afternoon. He needs 3 to tie the all-time, to break the all-time receiving record at Wilkes University.
Brings Perry up to 196 yards also in the ball game. He needed 285 to tie the record, 286 to break it for career yards passing at Wilkes.
And going into the win, that's an accomplishment. Larry Yadiski gets inside the 5 to the 3. 11 minutes, 2 seconds remain here, third quarter of action, as we say thank you for joining us on this special broadcast. We're pleased to be part of a forming tradition, the renewal between Kings and Wilkes. Oh, was Yadiski ever stuck by Dennis Bowers? And Bowers has really proven that he can play some for real football out here. I mean, that's just a tremendous lick on the part of Dennis Bowers.
Open field hit on that one. He had the man, and he knocked him down, and that's that goal line defense coming up again for Kings. They gave up a lot of points, but, you know, this defense has been very strong there on many occasions this afternoon.
A little bit of polish is all they need, and some more experience, and it's going to be very tough and very difficult to reckon with. Here's Perry to Smith. Smith pulls his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Jason Smith, his 3rd of the afternoon. He broke with tradition a little bit on that one. That was a 3-yard run.
Well, it still counts for 6 points. And there you see him take the first hit, bounce off his hips, and just gets over by about 2 feet. Anytime that ball crosses the plane of the goal line, it's a touchdown. And the key to that on Smith, he took the first hit but bounced right off. And Jake's out there again to do it again. And this time it's more of a breeze than a wind.
O'Donnell boots that one through. It's good. 35-0.
O'Donnell is out of Plymouth White Marsh High School in Plymouth Meeting, PA. He's a sophomore.
We'll be right back.
When you bought your last loaf of bread, did you need to buy the whole bakery? When you flew from New York to Chicago, did you have to buy the plane? Then why do people still buy copiers when what they really want are copies? Top Copy solves that dilemma with its new Total Copy Plan. The plan covers everything: equipment, supplies, service, everything. You simply pay by the copy. Call today for more information. Stop buying copiers and start buying copies.
Lexus of Wilkes-Barre wants your Mercedes or your BMW, and they're willing to pay top dollar in trade to get it. Find out why so many Mercedes and BMW owners are trading in their cars for one of ours. We're offering some of the highest trade-in allowances in our history in an attempt to restock our used car inventory. Get more for your trade and drive a Lexus for the price of an ordinary car. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Visit Lexus of Wilkes-Barre today, located just a quarter-mile south of
And we are back to live action. And Jim Ball returns the kickoff to about the 31-yard line, and the Monarchs will have the football. And we'll see if the game plan begins to click in terms of looking to accomplish the next goal, get points on the scoreboard. Well, the Wilkes defense very stingy, and that's a rather tall order. Looking to throw off, good play action, nearly intercepted the pass.
Richard's pass intended for Litz, broken up by Woodward.
Was intended for Brian Litz.
Number 1, Joe Woodward out of Cardinal Brennan High School made the defensive play on that. Kings took 5 minutes and 2 seconds or rather Wilkes took 5 minutes and 2 seconds to get that touchdown after taking the open kickoff of the second half.
Second down, 10 play. They option it back. Tony Fabry has a problem hanging on to the football and will fall on it. There'll be a loss on the play back to the 25-yard line.
Loss of 7 on the play.
128-240. Also the yellow ticket to the game ball.
So it's going to be third down and 17.
629.
This is a very nice complex down here. For the second time in the afternoon, the wind has stopped blowing. Meanwhile, John Myers is going to get back some relatively good yards to the 38, but it will still bring up a fourth down situation, and Jim Ball will drop back into punt formation.
Roger, what this complex means to Kings College is that for the first time in the history, they've got basically all their athletic programs right in one location. And that's bound to help them in all their sports.
Ball's kick is away, sending Greg Yankow all the way back to about the 15-yard line, and he returns it for about 10. Well, you know, when you talk about Division III football, you don't come out, you don't get scholarships for your play in terms of athletics. So why in the world would you want to choose a university such as Wilkes University? Joe DeMelfi tells us.
Well, I think the academic integrity and the academic reputation of a place like Wilkes is just outstanding. Engineering, medicine, education. There are a lot of opportunities to become involved in a very good football program and to receive a top-flight education at a place like Wilkes, which is a Division III school.
And, you know, that's got to be the bottom line, a good sense of community in the smaller schools, and it really is a tremendous environment in which to be a part of, and it's a tremendous environment in which to compete in terms of college athletics. Jason Smith gets several, gain of about 5.
There was a penalty against Wilkes on the run back for the punt that took the ball back down to their 13-yard line, which was the line of scrimmage on that point.
And so second down and 7. Get a look at Jason Smith from behind. Smith is very quick. And here's Perry looking to throw something he does very well. He is looking for Alston, and it is out of bounds.
Flag has flown.
A flag was thrown, yes. Now, was the ball catchable?
And was it against the offensive man or the defensive man as they came down the way?
Well, Kings is celebrating. They're saying it's against Wilkes. Is it? Yes, indeed. offensive pass interference, something you don't see very often.
It's going to put the Colonels in a little bit of a hole. You know, Coach DeMelfi was talking about community within the school at Wilkes. You know, the whole area can get involved in this rivalry.
Oh, yes.
It doesn't matter whether you went to Kings or Wilkes or didn't go to school.
Either one of them.
Either one of them. You've got good college football right here in the area now. You can watch. You can pick your favorite. If Kings is on the road, go see Wilkes play, vice versa.
That's right. And the MAC traditionally plays some outstanding football and basketball as far as that goes.
Well, I can remember years ago, back when we were in high school, when Kings and Wilkes both played football over at the Kingston Stadium, and you go down in the afternoon and see one play and see the other one play at night. And there were many afternoon that was done.
Here's my seat. I just got this complex here houses not only this fine football stadium, but in the process of developing the baseball field just across the way and to our left, and also the soccer complex, which is located to the
against the Colonels
end zone, to which the Colonels now have their backs. And of course they have the football practice field out here. It really is very, very nice. It's down right in off of 81, and in the event that you're not sure where it's at, let's just say it's immediately behind Sam's Club.
Ball's down inside the 10.
Second down 9. Perry on the roll, fires complete to Endress, and Endress is getting closer and closer and closer to setting the all-time receiving mark at Wilkes. A good look there at Steve Endress.
16 yards on that play.
And a first down. Steve Endress out of Palmerton High School. Shades of the Zinc Factory, the former zinc mill. Oh, Jason Smith ran into Endress.
And they both took a good hit.
They did. That's a good look at Jason Smith. What a fine job he's done out here, and what a fine job he's turned in for the Colonels this year. And it would appear as though Joe DeMelfi's team is for real out here. These guys are considering and looking ahead to an opportunity for an NCAA berth, looking to perhaps host the first round of the regional tournament, perhaps even the second round, as Smith, looking to get the first down, is close. It'll depend upon the spot. And an opportunity for us to tell you this portion of today's game is being brought to you by Diversified Record Services. 1-800-458-4710, a professional information management company. Diversified Record Services.
Nose guard Malcolm Powell making a hit on that play. You know, we're talking about how spread out Kings used to be, Roger. Their basketball court used to be at Scanlon Field in Kingston, which was their practice field, and they had that for football. And if you wonder where that used to be, that's right where, when you come down the Cross Valley to go south on Route 11, Wyoming Avenue, that's where they played their football games as far as practice was concerned, and their basketball home games were played at the Scanlon Field House.
And a first down for Wilkes. Perry has gone all the way at quarterback, so has Jason Smith. They like to show that little play action. Now they're looking for it. Oh, beautiful interception. Ryan Bucher comes up with it. That was one outstanding reception. Perry into the wind, looking for it all.
Looking for Alston and overshot.
You're watching PCTN, the Pioneer Community Television Network. We're closer to home.
going to put the Colonels in a little bit of a hole. You know, Coach DeMelfi was talking about community within the school at Wilkes. You know, the whole area can get involved in this rivalry.
Oh, yes.
It doesn't matter whether you went to Kings or Wilkes or didn't go to school.
Either one of them.
Either one of them. You've got good college football right here in the area now. You can watch. You can pick your favorite. If Kings is on the road, go see Wilkes play, vice versa.
That's right. And the MAC traditionally plays some outstanding football and basketball as far as that goes.
Well, I can remember years ago, back when we were in high school, when Kings and Wilkes both played football over at the Kingston Stadium, and you go down in the afternoon and see one play and see the other one play at night. And there were many afternoon that was done.
This complex here houses not only this fine football stadium, but in the process of developing the baseball field just across the way and to our left, and also the soccer complex, which is located to the
against the Colonels
end zone, to which the Colonels now have their backs. And of course, they have the football practice field out here. It really is very, very nice. It's down right in off of 81, and in the event that you're not sure where it's at, let's just say it's immediately behind Sam's Club.
Ball's down inside the 10.
Second down 9. Perry on the roll, fires complete to Endress, and Endress is getting closer and closer and closer to setting the all-time receiving mark at Wilkes. A good look there at Steve Endress.
16 yards on that play.
And a first down. Steve Endress out of Palmerton High School. Shades of the Zinc Factory, the former zinc mill. Oh, Jason Smith ran into Endress.
And they both took a good hit.
They did. That's a good look at Jason Smith. What a fine job he's done out here, and what a fine job he's turned in for the Colonels this year. And it would appear as though Joe DeMelfi's team is for real out here. These guys are considering and looking ahead to an opportunity for an NCAA berth, looking to perhaps host the first round of the regional tournament, perhaps even the second round, as Smith, looking to get the first down, is close. It'll depend upon the spot. And an opportunity for us to tell you this portion of today's game is being brought to you by Diversified Record Services. 1-800-458-4710, a professional information management company, Diversified Record Services.
Nose guard Malcolm Powell making a hit on that play. You know, we're talking about how spread out Kings used to be, Roger. Their basketball court used to be at Scanlon Field in Kingston, which was their practice field, and they had that for football. And if you wonder where that used to be, that's right where, when you come down the Cross Valley to go south on Route 11, Wyoming Avenue, that's where they played their football games as far as practice was concerned, and their basketball home games were played at the Scanlon Field House.
And a first down for Wilkes. Perry has gone all the way at quarterback, so has Jason Smith. They like to show that little play action. Now they're looking for it. Oh, beautiful interception. Ryan Bucher comes up with it. That was one outstanding reception. Perry into the wind, looking for it all.
Looking for Alston and overshot him just enough.
Watch this. Now look at that. That is just a good athletic play. He saw the play, he read it, and went for it, and made the reception. And here is Sean Richards coming back, looking to hit Brian Litz, but it was overthrown in front of the Wilkes bench. Clock is stopped with 6:13 here in the third quarter.
I think we're going to see the Monarchs really go to the air now. There's 6:13 to go in the third quarter. This will be their last opportunity to have the wind at their back here this afternoon. And we've got a flag on the play.
2 to be exact. We'll sort it out for you in just a little bit. And we really hope you were with us last night for the West Scranton Prep game. Boy, wasn't that something. Congratulations to all the teams who were involved throughout high school football during the course of this entire season. We were just so thrilled to be able to bring you many of the fine teams from the area. Clipping is the call, by the way, against the Monarchs, and it will make it a first down, and we're going to call it 26. The ball is at the 10-yard line. But congratulations in particular to Coach Tony Cantafio and Jack Henses for sharing the Big 11 crown. This pass is complete to Ricky Henderson.
Richard's pass is complete to Henderson.
That was a nice gain on the play.
Picked up 11 yards.
To the 21. And the thing here is that you have to learn you don't get all of that back in just one go.
And that was what they did on that one.
Look there at Blue Perry along the sidelines.
Fabry carries.
And this time Tony Fabry gets a couple.
Well, Roger, when you talk about that tie in the Big 11, you have 4 coaches in Lackawanna County history who have over 200 wins, and 2 of them tied for the title. Jack Henses at Dunmore and Coach D'Antona at West.
Loose football. It's put on the floor. Whose is it? Still a scramble. Looks like a rugby scrum, and we're going to see who it is. They say it belongs to Kings.
And how you can tell with that pile who's got the ball is beyond me, but over on the other side, the official's got his eye on it.
Hey, once the official points in your direction, you can just say, here, you can take it. We're going with what he says. We've got a great basketball season coming up for you. It'll feature not only high school, but also look for a number of collegiate games, as well as some of the new Atlantic Basketball Association professional games. Here's Jim Ball. Big rush. A floater coming down, and what a hit is put on Greg Yankow. Yankow says, why did I catch that one? Making the hit on him was Dave Krause, number 67.
Just inside the Monarchs territory. Excellent position again for the Wilkes Colonels. 4:50 to go in the third quarter, and they're going against the wind for the last time, probably.
Big afternoon for both schools here this afternoon. Big in the sense that the future implications of this matchup are very big. Austin tries that little spin move to get to the outside and manages about 5 yards on the play. They say he stayed in bounds, and the clock continues to move now.
He jumped over Mark Levine, number 25, the first defender in there.
That's a good look at Austin. He's only a freshman. 5'8", 161 pounds. Ocean Township High School, where he is from. Carry to Jason Smith, and Smith gets 3.
Smith carries. Stopped by Orman and Bowers.
It doesn't seem possible, but coming up just in a couple of weeks, we're going to have professional basketball on for you here. November the 28th, the first game, the Hazleton Hawks and the Scranton Miners.
Jason Smith has now rushed for over 1,000 yards this season, the first back in Wilkes history to do so.
Seems to me, as part of my opening comments, I misread something off of the information here, and I thank Jason for bailing me out, because he now, in fact, has done what I had suggested that he had just done earlier on in the game.
Well, it must have sounded like a good idea to him when he heard it. You know, you talk
the
about
first back in Wilkes University history to rush for over 1,000 yards. What a tremendous accomplishment as you get a look at the guy out of Pine Grove High School.
1,000-yard mark for the season. He is the first back in Wilkes history.
Well, we have a punting situation. No way.
No.
I think that's
fourth down and 2. Give it to Jason Smith.
That's one prediction I felt safe in making this year.
And you bet you've missed some of our telecasts. Neil and I have not seen eye to eye with the coaches many times, and this time we got it right. Give it to Jason Smith. Let him get the first down. That's exactly what he did. As Mike Shutt led the defensive charge for the Monarchs.
You know, you talk about resuming the rivalry here between Kings and Wilkes. Bringing pro basketball back to the area is a nice resumption, too.
Yes, it is. The Hazleton Hawks, the Scranton Miners, the Pottsville Stingers.
And an ex-Kingsman available to the area and coaching-wise in that league, Al Clocker. Scranton Miners used to play for Kings College on the hardwoods.
The Allentown Jets, the Delaware Blue Bombers, and the Frederick, Maryland Flyers make up the balance of that league. Luke Perry, nice job of faking, and a nice reception by Brian Allen, the tight end.
Picked up another 4 yards on that.
Nice looking play. Watch again. Allen with nice hands. And the stop on the play by Jesse Gross. There's Brian Allen out of Riverside High School. Local boy makes good, I guess, could be the caption under that one. This is Kenny Wade, and Wade with first down yardage nears the 20.
Tony Volpe in on the stop for the Monarchs.
Watch again. Watch the speed that Wade has here as he turns the corner.
Wade carries to the turn.
Frank Pickle made the stop. This is a local boy stayed at home. Doing well. Steve Endress with yet another catch on the afternoon, and you can just kind of see it coming that this is a day that there's going to be a lot of different things going into the record books. In particular for the Colonels of Wilkes University. And I wonder if they retain, Neil, maybe you would know, do they retain the records from when Kings played football before? Do you start again?
Well, they had the scores and so forth available here, so I would imagine they probably will keep the individual records in the book.
Individual records need to be redone. No statute of limitation on them, obviously, huh?
No, I don't think so, and I think the man that would know would be John Engel, who was the sports information director over at Kings long before that title became well known. He's the guy that just kept the records.
Flag is thrown. Do we have a delay of game? What happened was the 25-second clock expired. You got it right there, the big 0. 35-0 in the event you've just tuned in, and they're going to wave this one off. A little bit of an explanation being given to the Kings team. That's the situation in the ball game.
Maybe they had a reset problem and the clock didn't reset when they had tried to reset it before the countdown began. First and 10 at the 11, so they can pick up a first down without scoring.
It's reset now to 25 seconds. The officials are still talking about this. And Wilkes finally says, yeah, let's go back in the huddle here and see what we're going to do.
Brian Calero, the center, number 51 for Wilkes, got a little offensive lineman time there, talking to the official. And now we have Kings officially has taken a timeout. Let's put it that way.
There you go.
We'll see what we have going.
We want to invite you to take in some of the local sports throughout the course of the area here. I mean, you really can find just about anything that you're looking for. The Monarch Fields complex here, just right off of Cole Street, right off 309. And very nice down here. And I got to tell you, I am just absolutely surprised at the number of people that have come out for this afternoon's game. Nobody has left on either side. It does not make any difference to the fans from either school as to the fact that the score is 35-0. I mean, the thing that really is outstanding here, and the reason that we are here, is because this truly is it's an event in the area that was worthy of and deserved some type of television coverage, and we're just pleased to be the people who are able to supply that, because of the fact that this has some tremendous future implications in terms of renewing what was at one time a rivalry between these two schools on the football field.
I understand last evening they had a very nice pep rally for both schools, and as I came in this morning, we saw the first of the tailgaters starting. Now we got Colonel Bob making his appearance.
If you happen to notice the clock shaking in the corner of your screen, that's because the stands are shaking. This is Steve Endress, and Endress logs another reception. He's close to the first down. And Steve Endress now has 66 receptions this season, setting a new Wilkes season record. Congratulations to Steve Endress out of Palmerton High School.
He's done a great job here today, and he's done it throughout his career.
Well, we had mentioned that there were several records here which could conceivably fall this afternoon. Jason Smith already has become the first running back in Wilkes history to go over 1,000 yards. This one's going to come up just a little bit short as Larry Yadzitsky comes up just a little bit short. It's going to be 1 to go.
First
and
down.
A first down as well. Yadzitsky gets the nod. Why not? Is he in? Touchdown.
Got the signal from the officials on the penetration of the ball, and that got him the 6 points. And Wilkes is on the board once again.
This time, as the clock shows 24 seconds here in the third quarter, Larry Yadzitsky gets a 1-yard run.
Larry's out of Wyoming Area High School, played for the Warriors up there.
Hey, do they have a good team this year again, or what? I mean, they're look forward somewhere down the road to a possible matchup with Wyoming Area and Dunmore, and that will be a super football game.
Well, we've got a lot of teams alive in the playoffs. We've got a lot of teams that are going to do very well. And
Larry Yadzitsky getting his first career touchdown. So lots of firsts here this afternoon.
A lot of firsts and a lot of records this afternoon. The Wilkes Colonel mascot made a speedy entry and then a speedy retreat.
What was he on?
Colonel Bob is getting pretty well known in circles for some of his gags. He came running around the track with the Wilkes flag. Now he's heading back into the far end zone where he still has his flag intact, I think.
Aha.
Jake O'Donnell out to make another extra point good here for the Colonels.
Good snap, good placement. This one sails wide to the right. So 41-0. But the important thing here is that Kings College, in their first season of varsity football in 40 years, has really shown numerous bright spots. And as we had mentioned to you before, there are no seniors on this football team. Well, you're talking about all young kids that have a lot of potential.
And Roger, if you go back to that one of those tapes we ran on the interview with Coach Manello in the first half, just the way he talked about the foundation of the program, you can tell Kings College went out to high football coach and to resume a program that had been dormant for 30 years. They really found a man who's a young man, but he speaks with many years of wisdom as far as what it takes to build a program and what he would like to do.
Rich was the coach on the Division I level and said this was just too good of an opportunity to pass up. And Joe DeMelfi for the Colonels at Wilkes College, boy, what a job he's done. His team 9-0 coming in here this afternoon. They're going to leave here obviously 10-0. They're going to the NCAA Division III playoffs, probably going to host that one. They're probably going to be the number 2 team, and it's 1-4-2-3 in terms of the top 4 teams in the nation. And the number 1 host, the number 2 host, and there can be little doubt that they are a very deserving ball club. O'Donnell's kickoff goes out of bounds, and let's tell you on this program note, we want you to set your calendar and make a note for the Race of Champions coming up here on PCTN. Some of the best in modified racing, the Race of Champions, the second oldest consecutively run race in the country, next only to the Indianapolis 500. And that particular show really was an exciting race, and we hope that you'll note the times on that and that you will enjoy those. And also the street stocks coming up, and that of course will be next weekend, and that will be Saturday night at 10 o'clock, and we know that you're going to enjoy both of those shows. And if you're a sports fan, I know you want to make a note, and we hope that you enjoy some of the best in local sports right here on PCTN. We bring you more in terms of variety and number than any other, and we're glad that you happen to have discovered the Pioneer Community Television Network.
With the ball going out of bounds on the kickoff, Kings has accepted possession at the 50-yard line, so they will take over 1st and 10 with 24 seconds to go in the third quarter.
A little flat pass. It comes to Jim Ball at the 50 into Wilkes territory and barrels for an additional 9 yards to the 41.
There's a very impressive-looking young man, too, when you look at prospects and fellows with years to come.
Definitely. That's going to be the last play of the third quarter of action as we move to the final 15. Wilkes is on top, 41-zip. We'll be right back.
The athlete who plays Division III football exemplifies what the great game of college football is all about. He participates without the benefit of a scholarship, works hard on the field for the love of the game, and maintains his priorities off the field by completing his studies. He is, in every sense, a true student athlete. The Downtown Wilkes-Barre Touchdown Club recognizes that dedication and determination and is proud to present the Melberger Award, the Outstanding Division III Football Player of the Year.
Lexus of Wilkes-Barre wants your Mercedes or your BMW, and they're willing to pay top dollar in trade to get it. Find out why so many Mercedes and BMW owners are trading in their cars for one of ours. We're offering some of the highest trade-in allowances in our history in an attempt to restock our used car inventory. Get more for your trade and drive a Lexus for the price of an ordinary car. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Visit Lexus of Wilkes-Barre today, located just a quarter mile south of Pocono Downs on Route 315.
This portion of today's game is being brought to you by Diversified Record Services, a professional information management company. Diversified Record Services, Pittston. Well, as we move to the final 15 minutes of play here, it's going to be the Monarchs looking to do what we thought they would look to do, and that is to see if they can get some points on the board. This was a look at the last play.
Ball being brought down by Greg Yankow. Now here's an amazing statistic. We're talking about Kings wanting to put some points on the board. This is their 10th game of the season. Wilkes has not allowed a point in the fourth quarter to any of their previous 9 opponents. So the Monarchs really have their work cut out for them.
Out of the wishbone. They toss this back. This is Keith Bretzis. And Bretzis manages a few. The wishbone is not the type of an offense that's going to bring you back from any kind of a deficit. And one of the things you need to do when you run the wishbone is you need to get out in front and hang on to the lead, or at least stay close. And at this stage of the game, it's a matter of playing for the pride.
And there's plenty of that out there. What they're doing, of course, with the wishbone, you need a lot of good timing, and you need people to work together. And that helps develop the program. There we have a sack recorded by the Colonel's defense.
Sean Richards wrapped up. And a loss on the play.
Myers Band is really into this game. They're more or less the designated band today for the King's College Monarchs, and they're into it.
A great job, and we thank them for coming out and being part of this event here this afternoon. Hope that you enjoyed their halftime show as you get a look at the Myers Marching Band. Looking to throw, complete. Jim Ball, first down. Jim Ball tries to cut it back, and right now the Monarchs want to end that unscored upon streak that Wilkes has been able to put up here throughout the course of the season.
A pass good for 17 yards, puts the Monarchs at 54 yards passing in the ball game. The ball is on the 24-yard line of the Wilkes Colonels.
Straight ahead, they go to Todd Bennett for a couple. In the MAC standings coming into today's football action, Wilkes, of course, on top. We should tell you that the MAC is split into two different leagues, the Freedom League and the Commonwealth League. And Wilkes sits high atop the lead in the Freedom League with a 4-0 record, and undoubtedly will move that to 5-0. FDU Madison is second to them at a 3-1 record. Moravian leads the Commonwealth division. The pitch back is put on the floor. It looks and would appear now it's still down there, and now Wilkes is going to come up with it. And it would appear as though Wilkes pride says we're not going to let you score, not in this last quarter. Moravian, as I started to mention to you, is on top in the Commonwealth League. Susquehanna, whom the Colonels beat last week, giving them their only loss, is second in the Commonwealth League at a record of 3-1 in the conference. Scott Wachinski is the new quarterback, 6 feet 6 inches tall, 206 pounds, from Bethlehem Liberty in the Lehigh Valley. And we welcome those of you who have joined us along the network in the Lehigh Valley, WBPH TV 60. Getting an opportunity to see one of the ones that you watched come up through the ranks at Bethlehem Liberty, Scott Wachinski. Get some playing time here at quarterback. Kenny Wade, he can turn it on when he gets some room, but that time there was no room. And we had mentioned to you what really a bright spot this Kings defense has been. They've really done a great job on most of the plays here this afternoon, and except for a few breakdowns. And it sounds tough when you say that with a 41-0 football game, but they really have done a great job on many occasions here. They face a 3rd down and 17 situation. We'll see what Scott Wachinski can do with it. Looking to throw. And with a number of the records being changed here in terms of Jason Smith getting his 1,000 yards and Steve Endress getting his 66 receptions this season, setting a new Wilkes season career record. A number of other guys getting an opportunity to see some action. 4th down, 17.
Jim Ball back at his 44, waiting to receive the punt.
snapped. Kick is away. High floater. Joe McCusack out of Mount Carmel was the punter. And we welcome those of you that have an opportunity to watch this game on Service Electric, Mahanoy City. And thank you for tuning in Mount Carmel.
Quick coverage downfield for the Colonels. Allowed ball to only get to the 49 of Wilkes University. 10.5 minutes to play.
Sean Richards out of Pittston Area High School running the wishbone. Very quick and straight ahead and gaining 5. Was Keith Bretzes. You know, you really got to be excited for this Monarch football team with what they have in front of them in terms of their program. And when you start with a bunch of kids, I was talking with Rich Manello the other night and said, you know, one of the neat things that happens when you begin a program from scratch is the fact that you don't inherit anybody else's their problems or whatever might come with the program, and you can begin and you can just develop the team all the way through. And he thought that that's exactly what was happening with his kids, and realized that that was just a tremendous potential. One of the things that made a difference in him wanting to come here to assume the head coaching reins. 3rd down and 3. John Myers received a lick on that. Don Rott was the guy who made that big hit.
Fourth down situation, normally probably a punting situation here, but it's not going to be for Kings.
4th down and a long 3. Jim Ball, short of the 1st down, a fumble. It didn't make any difference. It was going over to the Colonels. A fumble recovery by Don Rott, who's played well since entering the football game.
You know, when you talk about building a program, one of the things you're looking at is take a look at your expansion teams in professional sports. How long it takes a lot of them to be competitive and then to become a winner. Well, by the time they're still building an organization, kids in college are graduating.
That's exactly right.
So it's a constant recruiting battle, a development battle, and you know, it's not going to be next week or next year, but it's got to start someplace.
Recruiting is one of the things that is always a challenge. And in particular, when you start from scratch. Well, coming up on PCTN Straight Talk, the Clinton Healthcare Reform. And that's next on Straight Talk every Wednesday at 7, Friday at 12:30. The Clinton Healthcare Reform Package has some serious questions that deserve some straight answers. And you can get the facts on Straight Talk here on PCTN. This pass is complete. And Wachinski delivered that one right on the money.
82, I believe, was Jeff Hancock picked that one off.
And a 1st down. Oh, Kenny Wade. That was like running into a brick wall.
And that wall's name was Dennis Bowers. We've called his name more than once today.
He's played a very, very good football game.
This new quarterback for Wilkes, an interesting individual, Roger. Scott Wachinski, 6'6", 206 pounds, and he's a freshman. So, you know, there you've got a man who can definitely look over almost any defensive line anybody's going to throw up at him. Where with Lou Perry at 6'1", he's got to do a little more scrambling, a little more shotgun efforts.
Looking to throw, little pump fake, sets it up. Was that intercepted? I believe it was. Yes, indeed. What a superb catch. A great defensive play. And who's on the receiving end of that great defensive play? Ryan Bucher. Boy, I tell you, he has made a number of excellent defensive moves and plays. He read that one exactly perfect. He did not buy the pump fake, and right on the money come up with that reception. Watch this. Boy, that's just a nice athletic play. Richards. I think that one fit the definition of hearing footsteps.
Absolutely, and all his men downfield were hearing them too, because there wasn't a Monarch who wasn't covered by a white jersey colonel. So this defense that has thrown a shutout for 9 games in the 4th quarter is doing it once again today.
Still from the wishbone, this time Todd Bennett will get about 5 yards.
We're not related, but the way he's going, I think I may claim him. Like
I'll tell you, you got to really, if you're a football fan, you really got to be thinking ahead to what this matchup is going to be like next year. And I think I'd be very surprised if the Monarchs did not win some football games. I think they are exactly on the right track. Here is Sean Richards with a first down.
Richards deep. Set up by Yankow.
Greg Yankow made the defensive stop.
Pick up a 10.
Watch again.
Nice roll.
Good hit.
Had the ball covered up by keeping it in the left arm. Didn't let a defensive man get a chance to knock it loose. And he picked up his first down.
Richards to throw. Lets it fly just a little bit behind his intended receiver, Ricky Henderson.
And had he caught it, he probably would have met the grass very quickly, because he had 2 men on him as he caught up to the football. 2nd and 10 at the Kings 49. 6:15 to play. Jim Ball will stretch it out and get to the 45 of Wilkes. Hurdles one man coming in before he's brought down.
Sean Richards. It's an area grab. Trying to turn the corner, Tony Fabry, and he has a first down. And I can hear Rich Manillo saying, we want a sustained drive, we want to score, we don't care how long it takes, we don't care if we get it now, if we get it in the first game next year or whenever. We want to be able to put this thing together against a quality football team, and we're going to go for it. A nice look incomplete to Ricky Henderson.
Fake the handoff.
And they're going to hurry up.
Fake the handoff, got the pass off there. You see the fake into the line and then the quick throw outside.
And he did that with a man hanging on to his shirt. Fabry turns the corner, gets 5, stops the clock, is inside the 20.
All of a sudden, Fabry, who had a little trouble hanging onto the ball in the first half, is picking up some big yards for the Monarchs. And the Colonel's defense is going to have to look for the big play here to stop this drive of the Kings. Really, their first good drive of the ball game. Their last 4 ground plays have accounted for 10, 6, 7, and 5 yards, and then throw in that pass.
2nd down and 6, a gain of 4 on the last play. They give it to the fullback. close to the first down. And Bennett. We got a face mask call against Wilkes. And that will provide enough for first down yardage.
It's also going to put them deep in the red zone, as they like to say.
It's not going to be a question here. It's only a question of where was the infraction committed and where's the ball going to be spotted down.
It's going to be spotted on the 11-yard line.
And a first down for the Monarchs.
5-yard penalty.
And I think if they put this ball into the end zone, Roger, hold on to your chair because these stands are going to start shaking pretty quick.
I think you're right. Look at this. Sean Richards out of bounds at the 3, close to the first down, just a little bit short, and that will provide several opportunities here to punch this in. Keep in mind they can get a first down.
Richardson's over talking to his coach briefly after the play to get the play they're going to run on this selection. 2nd and 1 at the 4.
Bennett trying. He may have the first down even though he was short of the goal line. Will come down to the spot. Short by a yard. This one winding down, but a tremendous moral victory hangs in the balance here for the Monarchs. Sean Richards nearly lost the handle on that and gets in for the touchdown. I'll tell you, this afternoon, you have got to say this on the part of the Kings following here right underneath our press box. Very, very few people have gone home. They've been down all game long to the real fine offensive prowess of the Colonels out of Wilkes University. And despite the bad weather, the Kings following has stayed. This is what they have looked for. They get an opportunity to get it. And it was Sean Richards who got into the end zone. 2-point try is going to come up well short, as making the hit was Lou Atkinson. But the Monarchs are on the scoreboard.
Well, the wishbone worked.
I'm going to tell you, here you go, prediction time, Neil. They come out and onsides kick it.
I wouldn't be at all surprised.
I'd be surprised if they kick it away. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see. And that was a victory in itself, because what they're saying to themselves is that they just scored on the number 2 team in the nation. And, you know, that's a very tough undertaking to open this rivalry with the team that's as good as the Wilkes team is this season. Is not, by any shake of the imagination, an easy task.
Well, what they've done is what no other opponent has been able to do all year, and that's score on the Colonels in the 4th quarter.
And that's a victory. And let me tell you, do you see the way this guy is teeing the football up? You got to love the way that Rich Manello approaches things.
Well, it's high lineman numbers that are up there for the Colonels, so if it is an onside kick, they might have a chance of recovering it to the Monarchs.
Joe DeMelfi has brought 9 men up. And all indications are onside kick time. Let's see what happens. A heady recovery made on the part of Brian Lipinski. And now we have a couple of words being exchanged. It's very quickly diffused. Both of these teams were very much up for this football game coming in here. Personal foul against Wilkes.
Personal foul against the Colonels.
And when that little fracas broke out, Coach DeMelfi was just out on the playing field pointing back to his bench to keep his other white-shirted guys out of there. If there's going to be anything, it's going to be the 11 on the field. And the Kings staff did the same thing. So
a great job on the sidelines.
And the officials did a great job, too, of breaking that up before anything more could happen. And it's going against the Colonels.
Those officials are really tough guys. You see how quick and easily they are able to diffuse a situation like that with all of those big guys. You get all these guys at 250 pounds and just a little push, and they're just really strong out there, Neil.
They did a nice job there.
Somebody told me that's because of respect. Scott Wachinski remains the quarterback.
And Dennis Bowers makes another good stop for the Monarchs, and you can see them coming up off that pile. They're still fired up, and I think they'd like nothing better than to get that ball back. You know, talking about officials,
it's
Roger.
Been a never say die.
That's for sure. You know, you were talking about officials, and somebody said the National Hockey League officials voted to go on strike, and
yeah.
Somebody else said, who'd know? Can't have any more fights without them than you do with them.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Eight, 7 on the play clock.
Now look at the line for Kings. They're up with a 6-man line.
That's Mike Soboleski. There's a name that you might recall out of Berwick, Pennsylvania, getting some playing time in here for the Colonels. I wonder who Joe DeMelfi knew to recruit him. As George Curry calls him periodically, wants to know how's this boy's doing.
George must have quite a phone bill if he's got to call over the country to check out on all his boys.
You see Wilkes using all of the play clock. And again, Soboleski.
That could well be a fact that, okay, we gave up one touchdown here in the fourth quarter. We're not about to give up another one. That's right. Going to happen.
Well, that's going to make it 4th down. And about 5. It's an opportunity for me to say thank you to some outstanding people at both of the universities here. We'd like to say a special thank you to Bob Zadie, the Sports Information Director here at King's College, and also Tom McGuire over at Wilkes University. Being very helpful to the PCTN sports team.
There was an excellent opportunity to call for a fair catch, but you can see in the attitude of the Kings College Monarchs, if I can get 1 foot closer to the goal line, that's where we're going to be.
Henderson, yeah, there's a flag on the play.
Mr. Henderson paid the price on that one. Clipping is the call against Kings.
I'd like to thank the athletic directors of both institutions here as well. John Dorish at Kings and Phil Wingert over at Wilkes.
John Dorish, who said he saw the last Kings-Wilkes football game as a senior in high school at Swearsville High School. And let me tell you, they played some pretty good football at Swearsville High School.
A real nice man to work with.
Longtime baseball coach here at Kings. And their baseball field is just to our left. Fans just starting to leave. Now, there you see the Monarch. He's had a little bit to roar about this afternoon.
Well, you know, when you wait for a long time to get your football program back, one thing you don't want to do is leave early, and these folks really have not, as Jim Ball gets a first down on about a 14-yard run to the 26-yard line.
Well, the key, too, Roger, we're talking about fans. There have been a lot of fans standing in the north end zone for the whole game. You know, they don't have a seat. They can't be comfortable. There we see the action for Kings.
Fabry.
And those folks are still standing there in the end zone with a minute and a half to go.
And why not? Out in the hurry-up offense. Sean Richards.
Richards calls
and
time.
asks for a timeout. Now, these guys are playing it exactly as you should, and what's happening here is Rich Manillo seizing an opportunity to work with and to coach his young squad. Keep in mind that these guys will all be back next year. There are no seniors. They will not lose anyone to graduation.
They also have a fine lineman who didn't play this year, Chet Moslem, who's not on the roster right now. He had knee surgery out of Bishop O'Reilly High School. He was quite a player over there during his high school days, and I saw him a couple of weeks ago. I asked him how the leg was. He said, "I'll be ready for next year."
And that's what you do at this stage of the game. If you're Kings, you begin to look the next year. If you're Wilkes, you begin to eye up a matchup in the NCAA Division III Regionals next weekend. And in all probability, you will find that that will be at home. And we want you to watch your local listings. And for press releases, very good possibility you just may find the PCTN sports team there to bring you the action during that regional matchup. With 1:04 left, here is Richards rolling out, pulls it up, gets a first down, runs out of bounds.
Richards keeps.
And I really believe that what Rich Manillo is doing is he's saying, we coach this thing, we're not throwing in the towel, we're going to coach this thing, we're going to learn from it. It's our opportunity to do that, and why not?
Well, we had a great pattern run on that play by number 80, the tight end Steve Harris for Kings. He got down to about the 30-yard line, or the 45-yard line, rather, when he made his cut, and then he was completely left alone by the Colonel defensive man. That might come up again.
So, Jim Ball gets yardage, goes out of bounds. And again, that's exactly the way that Rich Manillo would want his team to end this one, and that is to go out trying and go out working on the things that are going to make you a better football team next year. It'd be very easy here to just simply run a couple of straight-ahead plays or go to a knee and say, that's it, it's done. But that is not the way this coach thinks. Joe DeMelfi, on the other hand, has got to be extremely pleased with the way that his Colonels, now going to 10-0, have performed here this afternoon at Monarch Field. Looking to throw, he's got a man. It is complete. All the way to the 15-yard line, Steve Harris.
Complete to Harris.
Somebody saw that move on the last play that didn't work and called that down to the bench, and that time Steve Harris was ready. A great play for the Monarchs. Harris broke down in the open, and away he went.
Boy, you got to be thinking, just look ahead to next year when these two teams match up. I really believe that. You're looking here at the makings and the forming of a tremendous football game here in the Wyoming Valley, as each year these teams will, one side of town or the other, they will be on the football field. And you can just see it coming, and you can absolutely see the coaching being reflected in both squads. For the Colonels of Wilkes, Joe DeMelfi has brought his team to a position where you would have to say that they're very professional in the way that they approach things. And boy, for the upstart Monarchs of Kings College, Rich Manillo just taking every opportunity to work with his young squad, saying every time you get better, you keep working, you get better, you fine-tune, you get better. And between both of these clubs, I mean, you're talking about a real good matchup here in the years to come.
A lot of that comes from the fact that the administrations have made a commitment to athletics. the indoor facility for Kings, the big gym up on North Main Street, a fine facility. What they have here now in the athletic plant, Wilkes University with their athletic headquarters over on the west side at the Artillery Park Complex in Kingston off Northampton Street, plus the nearly brand new gym on South Franklin Street. You know, when you make a commitment to athletics, athletes look at that as something they want to be a part of. And, you know, Joe DeMelfi has seen a lot of improvement at Wilkes, and a lot of that has come from the fact that their facilities have been improved.
Fabry tries to get out of bounds. He does not. The clock continues to run. Clock stops momentarily for the... And now we have a timeout being taken by the Monarchs. We'll be right back with the closing plays and some final thoughts.
Hi, I'm Jim Morris, here to tell you what's new at Stroud's. Well, number one, the catalog's new because the merchandise is new. Number two, Stroud's store layout is new with more information at your fingertips and self-service. Direct, quick checkout if the item is small, or hands-free when the items are large. At King's College, you can experience the sensation of discovery. Whether you major in science, business, communications, education, or any other of King's 35 programs, you'll soon learn why major national publications like Barron's Best Buys and College Education have singled out King's curriculum. An ongoing $8 million renovation project for King Sciences facilities, new athletic fields, the $7 million William G. McGowan School of Business, and King's graduate programs have further enhanced King's mission of preparing students for satisfying and purposeful lives. King's personalized approach challenges students to succeed and leads 97% of our graduates to employment within 1 year after graduation. Call for an appointment to visit campus.
26 seconds remain. Monarchs looking to make the most of it. Hit the release to the end zone. Touchdown! Sean Richards to Jim Ball in the corner of the end zone with 19 seconds remaining, and the Kings faithful is loving it.
And Ball deserves it. He's worked awful hard here this afternoon. He's been the punter, the fine running back. He deserved that 6 points if anybody did.
Give credit to Sean Richards for hanging tough and putting that one right on the money. You may have to question the pattern a little. There were two receivers right there in the same area, but it doesn't matter. Looking for two. The little toss, Ricky Henderson can waltz into the end zone and strut his stuff. They've tried to work that play several times throughout the course of the afternoon, and a number of times it resulted in fumbles or mishandles, and that time it worked to perfection. Ricky Henderson in for two. It is 41-14. What do you want to bet? The onside kick. The clock shaking in the bottom right of your screen is because that's just from the enthusiasm generated by the Kings fans here and shaking the entire stands.
The offensive unit got an ovation from the fans as they came back up the field.
That's really cool.
Well deserved.
And this has got to set the tone for future matchups. Ed Hack is the kicker. Ricky Henderson out of St. John Newman High School, only a freshman, and expect some good things from Ricky.
They're lined up for the onside kick.
I feel good, Neil, that I've been able to call this one. I think I kind of sensed the Manila attitude. Well, that was a replay just like before, as Brian Lipinski said, hey, did it once, do it again.
Well, all you have to do on that play really is to make sure you have possession of the football. Don't let the kicker get down and pick up a loose ball, and that's what he did. So it worked, and with 17 seconds to go, Wilkes will probably run the last play of the football game coming up.